Okay.
So take it away.
All right. Hi, I'm Bridget. I'm a stay-at-home mom. I have three kids. My oldest is about to turn 6 years old. My youngest just turned 2 years old. My middle is almost four. So I am so busy being a stay-at-home mom, but in the small times I have during nap time, early mornings, and late nights, I also try to make a little bit extra money for my family through side hustles. I have a spreadsheet and I just looked at it the other day and I have 40 different line items on that spreadsheet. I've tried a little bit of everything, and on my TikTok page, I share what has actually worked for me, how I've been able to be successful at certain side hustles, and my main goal is to help moms figure out how to make money online for their families to either make ends meet or to have a little bit of extra fun money.
I'm so excited that you're here because I feel like you are the epitome of a side hustling mama. Like all of your TikToks are so informative and they break down all these really cool side hustles that you're doing. I love to watch like the end of the month recap of what you made. I am so excited that you're here with us today. So how did you get started in this whole side hustling venture?
Yeah, so before side hustling, I'll just give you a little bit more of my
I would love to
background
know.
because I think that it makes sense. So, I got engaged to my husband. I'm also married. I'm not just stay-at-home mom. I also have a partner who does bring in an income, which makes me in a very privileged position to be able to do this side hustle work and share this information. I just always want to make that totally clear because there's so many women out there who are just like, why can't I do this? And, you have to have, a whole background. Anyway, so my husband and I got engaged in 2017. And at that point, I was full-time digital marketing agency, going to work every day, doing all the things. And I have always been someone who has never wanted to take on debt. So I knew that getting married obviously is a very big expense. And I wanted to start to see how I could make extra money besides my 9 to 5 job in order to cover those expenses. So I started out by on Upwork. That is a freelancing website where you can, list your services and people will pay you for them. So I was already in the digital marketing space, so I listed digital marketing services, got a few clients that way, and we were able to cover all of the costs of the wedding doing that, basically. So that just like started to prove that okay, there is money to be made online and it doesn't have to be part of your W-9 job.
Yeah.
So, shortly after that, I got pregnant with our first daughter, and obviously, bringing on a baby is another big expense. We wanted an out of hospital birth, so all of that comes out of pocket. Our insurance, anyways, wouldn't cover any of that. So, again, I turned to freelancing on top of my job in order to cover all of those expenses. And I had never planned on being a stay-at-home mom. I thought I was going to be perfectly happy going to work. My daughter or my child would go to childcare, whatever. That's kind of how I grew up, and that's how my husband grew up, and that's just
Mhm.
sort of what we knew, what we saw for my family. But I knew the day that I had to leave my daughter, the day I went back to work from maternity leave, that this was not going to be a long term solution. There was just no way that I was going to be able to emotionally handle that. Immediately, I started, taking on as much freelance work as I possibly could because at this time I was also the sole provider monetarily for my family. I'm a couple years older than my husband, so I had graduated school and he was still working on his bachelor's degree. So I was covering all of the expenses and I finally decided to go full on into freelancing and quit my job. That was extremely scary and out of character. Like I said, I'm very risk adverse. I do not like debt. But we made it work and we made it work really well. For several years, freelancing was, my first attempt at online income. And I did it for, let's see, 2017, 18, 19, 2021. So I did it for 4 years.
Wow.
The problem with freelancing is that you don't get a maternity leave. You don't get any kind of, if a client leaves, you don't get, what is it called when you get fired?
Oh,
Whatever.
oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking
Yes,
about.
unemployment.
Well,
Yes.
yes, yes, yes. So you don't get any of that kind of stuff when you're a freelancer. So it started to become more difficult as we brought on the second child and then the third child I did not get any single breaks and It was still kind of a 9 to 5 type atmosphere because, you're working with clients who have businesses and businesses operate in certain hours and they want to have phone calls in certain hours. So it quickly became similar to a job where I would need someone to cover me for an hour while I took a phone call, or I
Mhm.
needed to, it just didn't work with my lifestyle anymore as a busy stay-at-home mom
Yeah.
of 3 kids. So that's when I started scrolling TikTok and I came across a video from, her name's Lisa. She's somo.mama. And her personality just like struck me instantly. I was like, this lady is so cool. She's sharing all the ways she's making money. She was sharing a video about how she had lavender bushes in her backyard and she was taking bunches of lavender and selling them to people in her community. Something about that just like struck me. I was like, I want to be like this person. I want to, follow her, obviously. She's
Yeah.
so cool. She is such an inspiration. And one day she started talking about Amazon influencer work, and you
Mhm.
don't need a following to be making money on Amazon influencer. You need a small following to get into the program, but once you're in the program, you can post these videos to your storefront, and if people watch your videos and make a purchase, then that's how you make money. And I was like, that sounds so perfect. I do not want to be an influencer. I hate being on camera. I hate talking. I know it's probably kind of weird because now that I'm used to talking on camera, it's a little bit more comfortable. But in real
Mhm.
life, I am so introverted. I am so shy. I stumble over my words all the time. I can't think of what to say. So being an influencer was like the furthest thing from my mind.
For
But
sure.
I wanted to get into this Amazon program. So I set a goal for myself. If I can start posting for 30 days,
Mhm.
just get enough engagement to get into this program, then I can leave TikTok behind and just stick with this program. But of course, in those 30 days, I started to find more people in the side hustle community and make friends. And it was just so much fun. And it really healed something inside of me where as a stay-at-home mom, you have kids around you all the time. You're never alone, but it
Yeah.
can also feel just like so isolating. Like
For sure.
having adult conversations becomes something of the past. It feels very lonely, but having this community on TikTok where I could post videos and I could watch other people's videos talking about similar interests, it became, really kind of a escape or like a
Mhm.
way to really bring community back into my life and still be able to stay home with my kids. So that's sort of how I stuck with TikTok, continued posting. I discovered my side hustle challenges, which is a month that I pick out every couple of months. And I say, I'm going to try to make this much money every single day this month, follow along, see if I can actually do it. And then I find all these wild ways to like make $10. Last time I did $35, which was crazy. And people started to follow along because of that. And they really liked it. And then I really figured, if people like this type of content, there's people who want side hustle
Mhm.
information. It's easier than a lot of people think to make money online. Although I will say courses are going to make it sound so easy to make money online. They're going
Yeah.
to say you're making thousands of
100%.
dollars a day, blah, blah, blah. It's not that easy, but it
Mm-mm.
is easy, doable, and anyone can do it, especially a stay-at-home mom, especially someone with just maybe an extra 20, 30 minutes or so on their hands during nap time or after bedtime. And it just became a way for me to connect with people and try to share information because I know I was kind of terrified when I left my job. I knew I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom, but I didn't know exactly how we were going to be able to make it work. And these sort of side hustles are great for someone who is just on the cusp of getting to that goal, but still need to make some kind of income. So this is sort of getting the best of both worlds of being a stay-at-home mom while also being an income earner for your family.
Love it. So I'm going to go back for a second. You started on Upwork and you said that you were doing freelance work. What freelance work exactly were you doing?
Yeah, so I am a social media manager. I run the Instagram and LinkedIn pages for the most part and Facebook. I had never had experience with TikTok, so it's kind of funny that I had all this experience for these social platforms and then completely dropped them and just did TikTok for myself. Probably because I didn't want to make it feel like work anymore. I wanted it to be
Yeah.
fun and just like an experience for myself. So
Okay, so you started as a social media manager, which is amazing, especially to make enough to pay for your wedding. That is insane. I just want to like say right off the bat, that is incredible. Congratulations. That is huge. And then you kind of transferred, and I love this because I was the same exact way. So I'm also in the Amazon influencer program, But you know what's
Mhm.
terrible? So when you join the Amazon influencer program, and you're going to see, guys, when you start looking at these things, just like Bridget said, there are so many people that are like, it's so easy. I promise you, it's not as easy that they're making it, but that's why we're hustlers. That's why we're money hungry mamas, because we're working towards getting that. And once you get into the program, right, in order to get into the Amazon influencer program, you have to make 3 videos. So after those 3 videos is when you kind of really start upping it, right? And trying to find anything around your
Mhm.
house. If it's in your house and it's on Amazon, it's free game. Make that video. But the
Mhm.
kicker is when I got in, I was so excited. I tried so hard. I was like, yes, I got it. I've never made another video besides the 3 videos. Isn't that insane? Like, what is
No
wrong with
way.
me? Isn't that nuts? That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
kinda did something similar though. I got in, had my 3 videos, made like 15 videos in 2 days, and I was like, "Wow, that was too much. I am done." And I took like a 3-month break.
I love it. And now, what would you say on average? How many videos do you have, and how much a month do you think you're bringing in with Amazon influencer?
Yeah, so I have 132 videos right now.
Wow.
I just posted 2 videos this month, but previously I had 131 videos since December. And on average, I was making $500 a month, which is absolutely crazy because I actually don't think that's really, expected with that little
Yeah.
videos, and I'll share what videos are doing the best in a second. But last month in April, I started doing creator connections on top of Amazon on-site videos, and I had my first 4-figure month with the Amazon on-site program, which is huge and crazy. But yeah,
Congratulations.
so much. I had been working for that goal literally since October 2023, and I finally
That's
finally hit it. It's kind of
amazing.
out of the blue too, because I like got burnt out at the end of the year and didn't post another video, and it was just kind of like consistent. But the videos that work best for me, and let's see, how much do I want to share? Because I could talk about this. But the videos that work best for me are literally everyday items you have around your house in the household goods category. So, like for me, it's my trash can, it's a mattress that we bought off of Amazon, and it's an air purifier that I bought off of Amazon. And those 3 things sell so many units per day. The way that okay, I'm going to share a little bit more just because I think
Yeah,
it's
of
important.
course.
Anyone who
Yeah.
wants so the way that I make a good video is that I check what videos are already posted. I
Mhm.
check all of the reviews that have been posted, and then I try to see, what's missing. Also on the Amazon page, they have an AI that asks questions. Like, have you ever seen, if you're looking through it, the AI is like, oh, does this come in a different size? Does it come in
Mhm.
a different? I think it's trying to predict what questions a customer would have or something. But I answer all those questions in my video, whether they were asked by a person or by this AI thing or not. And that seems to place my videos on the page more often. And when your video is on the page, that's when people are going to be able to see it, and that's when you're going to make sales.
Oh my gosh, that is such useful information. Thank you so much. Yeah, to go and look at the reviews and look at past videos, that's amazing. That is amazing.
Yeah.
130 videos. I can't. Like, I was stressing over the 3. So I give you so much credit. That is actually a goal of mine this year, to try to actually post more videos. Maybe I'll do like my own personal challenge. Because those seem to work when you're like challenging yourself. I feel like that definitely works.
Yeah, where you do like 1 a day or something. Nothing too crazy. Believe me, you don't
Ex
wanna do 5 a day. That got overwhelming fast.
Exactly. Now, let's go back one more time. You said creator connections. Can you explain what that is for anybody here that doesn't know?
Yeah, so I am brand new to this, so I don't know a ton about it, but
Hmm.
Creator Connections is something that used to only be available to invited group of Amazon influencers, but within the last 5 months or so, I can't remember, I think it was February maybe that this happened, they opened it up to all Amazon influencers, and it's just in an extra section in the promotions area where all the brands will post their product if they want to gain more traction on that product. So it's basically the brand is posting I want to call it a job, but you don't have to apply for it. You just find a product that you like, you accept the campaign, and then you post a video for it. In my case, I use my Amazon on-site videos and I just submit the link to the Creator Connections campaign. And then it's just an extra percentage of commissions that you make anytime you sell one of those products. You could post them on your Facebook page, your Instagram, anything like that. But I don't do any external Amazon influencing. It's just not
Hmm.
my thing.
Yeah.
So you can do it with on-site commissions as well, which is amazing. And you just get, it's just a bonus extra commission. So if you already have the product and you already have a video for it, then why not just submit it to a creator campaign?
I love that. Oh my goodness, that's really cool. Especially because, like, for anybody who's listening, like moms, like, we see people all the time making money being an influencer. This technically kind of is an influencer, but you don't have to show your face, especially with Amazon influencing. It's actually encouraged to not show your face, just to kind of do the product. So, this is a calling for anybody who loves to shop and has a ton of things in their house. This is for you, for sure. Okay, so we have Amazon influencing. What is your second best hustling thing that you love to do?
So, my second favorite right now, I'm really into monetizing content creation just because I've found that's been kind of the most lucrative. So, I am on Fiverr now and I have UGC gigs. And then I also link it back to my Amazon videos by posting Fiverr gigs for brands to buy Amazon videos for their products. So, it
Cool.
all kind of fits together too.
Yeah, that is so cool. So for anybody that doesn't know UGC, can you explain that to them?
Yeah, so UGC is user generated content,
Mhm.
and it's again kind of like being an influencer, but you never post the videos to your own pages. The brands buy them and post them on their own pages or on their website. It basically just looks more like a very authentic ad, like someone who's actually using the product in real life. You don't have to have any kind of crazy background or anything. You're just in your home posting videos about or making videos about the product, sending that video to the brand, and then the brand does whatever they want with that video.
That is really cool. So basically, from what I'm hearing, is you kind of have three avenues that you seriously kind of focus on, and it's social media, brands, brand videos, and then product videos. So it all really kind of comes full circle in your little niche there. I love that. So
Yeah,
now, how does
I know.
TikTok fit into all of this?
TikTok, it's a love-hate relationship for me because I I don't want to be like an influencer on my TikTok page. I don't
Mhm.
want to charge or monetize my audience. While I monetize some of my content, I never want to monetize my audience because the whole point of my TikTok page is to connect with other moms, other
Mhm.
stay-at-home moms, or
Mhm.
even dads who are just trying to make a little bit of extra money for their family. So really, the only thing I use TikTok for is to share what's working and to sort of connect all of my other side hustles. And I am part of the now I can't even think of what it's called.
Creator
When you
program?
have over,
Creator
what was that?
program, the TikTok
Yes,
creator
part of
program.
the creator program. So I do get paid for views. It's definitely not like I see so many videos of if I could only get 10K followers, I can get into this program and then I'm gonna make it on social media. It's not amazing. Okay, I
Oh,
get like
really?
maybe $100 a month. It's not gonna pay the bills, but it is a nice little bonus of I'm just trying to have fun on TikTok. I'm just
Mhm.
trying to share knowledge and to get paid for views is just a nice little bonus. So I sometimes get burnt out because like I said, a lot of my side hustles right now are very content focused. So
Mhm.
then to create content that I'm not getting paid for is kind of like, oh, do I feel like doing that today? But then I just, I remember this one is just for fun. This one is just me. This one I can just pull my camera out and talk about what's on my mind, what I'm feeling, my budget. I love talking about financial stuff too. I know my TikTok page is really heavily on side hustles and that's what people like, but sometimes I sneak in some finances and some budgeting tips in there too.
That is so cool. And actually, I had a look at your stand store. So, for anybody that does not know, a stand store is kind of like, I like to call it a website, but it's like an all in one. It's like a website and a link tree got married, and then that's where everything kind of lives. So, your stand store, I was checking it out, has some really cute budgeting templates on it. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, like I said, I never want to charge for knowledge, but
Hmm.
charging for tools I feel like is, okay. Not that it's for me to say what's okay and not okay,
Yeah,
just for
yeah.
my personal whatever it is. But yeah, I actually bought these budgeting templates on Etsy. I did a what's it called? PLR per what is it called? When you buy something, but then you also have the rights to resell it as your
Oh,
own. There's
okay.
so many courses like that, but I actually found a digital product for that, the digital planner. So I bought that off of Etsy with the resale rights, and then I used it for an entire year. And then I loved it so much that I was like, okay, I'm ready to sell this on my stand store and to make it my
Amazing.
own. And yeah, so that became a thing. And then I also have my social media tracker on there. That's the actual tracker I use because, like I said, I have like 30 to 40 line
Yeah.
items every month that I'm like looking at and seeing how do I want to make money today. So it's just a way to stay organized because people ask me all the time, like, how do you manage it all? How do you keep up with it? I'm like, I just look at my spreadsheet and decide how I'm feeling that day.
Honestly, a couple things. So first off, a stand store, even though I love it and I think it's fantastic, it is $30 a month. I think it's so
Mhm.
fair to have, I even have stuff on there that I'm like, oh, 2 sales a month would be fantastic to not pay for the stand store.
Yeah, true.
I totally think if it's something of value that's accessible, that is cheap enough, because I feel like you and I are very, very similar. We're not here to charge our audience. We're here to teach them how to really get somewhere because there's so many moms that are doing this. I mean, I'm so
Hmm.
happy that you are sitting here with us today because you're giving such great feedback of so many options, right? Like it's not just one business that you're doing. You're kind of like I'm going to call it a serial hustler. You have like 30 line
Yes,
items that you could
that's what
choose
it
from
feels
in a
like.
day. So this is perfect for that mom like myself. Like I have ADHD. I love the fact that you have so many things that you could choose from in a day. And you're like, okay, I don't feel like doing this today. Maybe I'll do a little surveys today. Maybe today will be the day that I'm just going to sit and take a couple surveys. I love that. That's awesome.
Yeah, and I think it's great too for beginners who like just don't know where to start, don't know
Hmm.
what is available out there. Like if you had asked me a year ago, like, can I take surveys online for money? I would be like, no, are you crazy? Like you can't make money that way. Like you're gonna get scammed, your email's gonna get stolen, blah, blah, blah. But now that I've tried like 6 or 7 of them and have successfully gotten paid out, Swagbucks is like the OG survey site, and just like even just saying it like sounds kind of scammy. I'm not gonna not gonna lie, but I've made so much money on Swagbucks through surveys, through games, through their sign up offers.
Oh
Like,
my
why
gosh.
not try it? And yeah, this I try to share all the beginner friendly ways to do it. And then my goal or my vision is that
Hmm.
someone find something that they connect with and then they run with it, because I'm going to be honest that with the way that I'm doing it with 30 to 40 different side hustles, I have so many friends in this space that I watch
Hmm.
and they're sharing similar things to me, but they've found their niche and they are making thousands of dollars a month because they've really just
Just dove
dived
in.
into that niche and ran with it, and they're doing so amazing. I'm still kind of trying to find my niche. I haven't found exactly what I'm connecting with long term yet, so I'm still
Hmm.
just sharing all of these beginner friendly ways to dive in. But when you're doing that, your spread's so thin that
That's
I
true.
mean, I make a couple thousand, but it's not like they're making like almost $10,000 a month, which is still mind blowing to me. And it's easy to compare yourself to and just be like, oh, why haven't I gotten there yet? But yeah, if you find something you connect with, I definitely recommend trying to run with 1 or 2 things instead of doing 40 of them. But it's just a great place to get started. And depending how much you're even trying to make or how seriously you're trying to take it, if you're just I want some money to go get some coffee today, what can I do? Then this is like a perfect setup for that.
I honestly truly respect the honesty because, hearing you say that somebody, and I just want everybody to know, like for anybody listening that does not follow her, she has over 40,000 followers on TikTok. And she still looks at other people's social medias and is like, oh, I wish I could have done that. Like, I just feel like that needs such a limelight. And it's a continuing theme in all of these conversations that, you guys are amazing and you guys are doing such inspiring things, and you guys still even kind of think to yourselves, oh, I wish I was like that. I think it just needs to bring brought to the forefront because it just is such an honest reaction that we all genuinely have, which I think is so
Mhm.
beautiful that like you're just so open and honest about it. Because I'm not even kidding you, when I first saw your TikTok, I was like, oh my gosh, she is goals. Like I literally remember showing my husband and I was like, this is goals. Like I love this account. This is exactly what I'm hoping to do. Like and it's so cool to finally be able to like talk to you and hear how like this whole thing started and all these really cool things that you're doing. But I think that
Mhm.
in all honesty, like everything that you're doing, I think it is your niche. Like I think you teaching all these incredible side hustles from the beginning, I think that may be your niche, and who knows, in a couple more months, that little thousand could be a heck of a lot more thousand if you're,
Mhm.
keep giving all these free tips for free.
Totally. Yeah. I know. I always, it's just part of social media. Like I see these
Mhm.
people finding this one thing and making $1,000 like, oh, I need to find my thing. But then I go back and I do a beginner friendly side hustle challenge and throughout the month I'm like, this is so much fun. I'm having like
Yeah.
it's exciting trying to find a new thing, new way to make money. It's exciting to share these new things I'm finding. And it's like, oh yeah, this is it. This is why I started. This is where the magic and the joy comes from.
I truly think when you are going after a passion, that's when the money truly starts coming in. Like, and maybe
Mhm.
those friends found that passion and that's why it's like so successful. But I think
Mhm.
this might, we've been talking now for quite some time and I feel like this could be your passion. And it's just, you got to figure out how to make it work. But I think this is it.
Totally. Mhm.
I think it's
I
beautiful what you're
appreciate
doing.
that.
I really do. And it's Bridget on a budget, right? That's what it is on TikTok, Bridget on a budget.
Bridget underscore on a budget because Bridget on a budget was taken.
All these Bridgets are trying a budget. So
I
we got to add
know.
an underscore.
It's the
I love it.
alliteration.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so cool. So cool. Okay, so you have been such this wealth of information tonight. What is one piece of information that somebody would normally have to pay for, but you're willing to give to us for free today? Even though I think
Yeah.
you gave quite a lot of things.
Oh gosh, it's so hard because I, just try to share information for free as much as I can on my TikTok
Hmm.
page. Probably, do some like you don't have to pay for this, obviously, but I'm gonna share something that's on my heart, I guess.
Yeah.
But you don't have to, you can do things scared. Like I said, I'm an introvert. I don't like talking. I don't like being in front of the camera. Well, it's not as bad now, but when I first started, if you scroll all the way back to my beginning videos, it's like, ooh, like, is she gonna make it? I don't know about that. But just do it scared. Like, you can do it. You can do hard things. You are already, if you're listening to this podcast, I'm gonna assume you're already probably a parent, maybe a
Yeah.
parent to multiples. That's the hardest thing that you're ever gonna do. If you can do that, you can do anything, basically.
I love that advice. I love that advice. That is so beautiful. Thank you so much for that. And what does being a
Yeah.
money hungry mama mean to you?
Being a money hungry mama to me is not only setting your family up for success, like right now, like I love being able to have, our ends are meeting. We are able to put some money in savings. We're able to buy those, annual a trip to Disneyland or something crazy like
Love.
that. We can do that because of the extra money that I'm putting in. But really, what I'm trying to do is work really hard now to make the future a little bit easier and to set up my kids for success, to set up my husband and I for success. Like, it was so hard to buy a house. We bought a house 2 years ago now, or almost 3 years ago. It was so much harder to buy a house now than it was for my parents back when they bought a house, 20, 30 years ago. Who
Hmm.
knows what it's going to be like in 20, 30 years. I want to make sure that I have money to be able to help support my kids if they choose to do that, if they choose to go to college, if they, God forbid, run into some situation where they need some money. I always want to be there to support them in any way I can, and that includes financial. And that is why I'm trying so hard right now to make extra money and to be able to put in those high yield savings accounts and those investment accounts and be able to be that foundation, of generational wealth moving forward.
Oh my gosh, that is the end goal. That is an end goal. Fantastic.
Mhm.
Fantastic. And where can our viewers support you and listeners?
So I'm currently only on TikTok at Bridget underscore on a budget. I technically have an Instagram page under the same name, but being a mom of three, side hustler, serial hustler, that is all the all the energy and time I have for. So always on TikTok. If you message me, I do get back to everyone. My community is, my pride and joy. I love to be a source of information. If you have any questions about any side hustles, any budgeting, anything at all, I am an open book, and all you have to do is send me a message.
Oh my goodness. Bridget, thank you so much for coming on today. I cannot even tell you how great it was to speak with you and hear all these exciting things for people to try.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. This is such an amazing podcast with a mission that me and I think so many other moms are going to be able to connect with. And we're just so excited to be able to share in this community. Thank you.